going on? What's happening? What's popping? What it is? Welcome to the Millennial Masterclass, baby. We here. You know what it is.
Hey,
Talk about it. Say what's up.
What it do?
The singing has really like.
I'm trying to keep a little theme going on. I get signed or something.
Like, did somebody hit you up in your DMs or something and told you this is what was up? Did somebody was like, girl, I like that singing you're doing on the show. I heard you.
That's what I heard. I heard it was a fan favorite.
Oh,
I heard it was a fan favorite. I heard it was a fan favorite.
Say that. I love you.
How Tifa feel about it? How she feel about it?
She probably the fan.
Wow.
Well, here we are. Anyway, y'all, I'm Tris. I'm posted up in New York, and we're gonna send it down to hell, and we're gonna see what's popping down in hell, because here it's hellish. What's going on?
Yeah, it's still in the high 90s, low 100s. But I was gone this past weekend. I was in Atlanta this past weekend where it was like the high was like 90. Something like that, 92. So it wasn't too bad. Like, it felt good.
Wait, hold up. Wait. So the high was 92, just a few short degrees under 96 or whatever. You're like, oh, that was just so much better.
It was a different kind of air. It's a different kind of heat out there.
Georgia is super humid though. What you mean? Atlanta's hot as fuck.
The thing was, that was the high, but then it was like a lot less than that because it was raining off and on. So it's like, it was those rain showers that brought the cool.
You caught that good time. That's that good time. Okay.
So it wasn't too bad or whatever. But it's about to be back up to 101, 102 this coming weekend. So I'm praying for fall at this point. I ain't gonna hold you.
We got a whole other.
What you got to say, Shauna? So you got something smart to say. I know.
It's been good weather in the DMV. I would say in Maryland, we've been chilling over here. But I don't really have to even leave my house. So
you be in the air conditioning.
I be in the air conditioning, working. I don't really be going nowhere for real. So
that's real.
Yeah, but it ain't that hot.
That's for real.
Tristan New York in a state of emergency, ain't y'all?
Monkeypox.
You allowed to leave the house?
No, we can leave the house. Okay.
We
can still move it. No, let's not start popularizing that shit. This is you know what happened? Remember when coronavirus started happening? And then the first nigga was like, man, that Rona. And then it just set off like wildfire. We're not about to do this. We're not gonna be the place where the shit sets off. We're not gonna be that place.
I heard y'all
that's not it. No.
I heard y'all got monkeypox, COVID, and polio. Y'all got it all.
Damn, polio.
You know what's really fucked up?
It's making a comeback.
What's super fucked up about this is that I was really hoping we wouldn't go over this, and here we are. But that's fine.
Damn,
I didn't put it in the bulletin, though.
What's wild about it is that we literally just talked about this on Monday because I was watching The Bachelorette. Yeah, it was a bit of a watch party. There were like 5-6 of us. We're at a lady's friend's place. And then one of her friends was like, yeah, I have to get vaccinated against polio. And everybody in the room was like, huh? Like, you got to get vaccinated with polio? You know, like, it just didn't exist for like years. It just wasn't here. And then she was like, no, I have to for real get a full-on polio vaccination before she could start a new job. And I was like, that's because she's working with kids or whatever. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, kids out here got to get a polio vaccine. Like, what?
It's the thing. They hadn't had a positive case since in like over 10 years, I think. And now there's like a positive case. So.
10? I thought it was longer than that. Like, I thought the last person had polio was FDR.
Like 50 years.
I thought FDR was the last person that had polio.
You would think that, but no. You would think that, but no. They said it's like, been when the 10 fuck years.
Still getting
That's what I'm saying. That was like remember like they showed that thing a while ago, like back in the 70s where they were like, yo, measles has been eradicated. And then some nigga had measles like 2 weeks ago. Like, what are we talking about? what are we saying?
All I know is Jesus is coming soon. Come take me.
Could you not
Can he come before my mortgage is due? Because I am so tired of these goddamn bills.
Okay.
Can he wait a little longer? Can he wait just a little
longer?
There's a few things I would like to accomplish before he comes back.
If he can wait till after homecoming, I'll be fine.
If he can wait just a little longer than that, just maybe a few more years.
Wait, that's it? Homecoming?
Just homecoming, goddamn.
I just want to experience homecoming. I miss homecoming. That's all I need.
And you know that this one ain't even gonna be the one where they outside. Like they're gonna be outside.
Oh no, we about to be outside.
No,
10 years.
They gonna turn up. You're right. They're gonna turn up. But like, who they got? What name they got? I ain't seen the name.
Well, it don't matter. It's about.
No, it does matter.
Like, people care about coming to see their friends for real. They don't really care as much about the performers. Like I feel like people are just coming because they haven't been able to come in a couple of years. So it's
we
like,
ain't cared about Yard Fest since Drake, honestly, because they ain't been the same since Drake.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So, ever since people started, they like
wasn't Ross after
people
Drake
get
though?
tickets and all that shit,
and try to like gate it
went
all
down ever since.
Yeah, the gating of Homecoming
that was so
really
stupid.
was like,
crazy.
But you know what? It started with little shit though. It started with little shit. It was like even our sophomore year. If you remember back to this, remember our freshman year, Leslie, we had like the movie on the green. Like they would show that movie on the green. It would show School Days, right? And it was what's fucked up is that those issues are still just as alive now, which is wild.
Hello.
But far beside the point. They would show the next year. They immediately took it away. They
kept taking things away,
and they
every
just
year.
took shit away just little by little. Like by the time like Sean got there, like I don't even know if they had a freshman year. Like, did y'all even have a freshman week?
Oh, freshman week.
Why the fuck you try to act like I'm 10 years younger to you? Chill out.
Because nigga, you act like it. Because you act like it.
You was happy not to be
you act like it exactly.
But I am 30 now.
I'm
not that same person that I used to be.
Okay.
Y'all.
Right.
Grown now.
Right.
I make it seem like I am a young boy or something.
No, but seriously.
And we had freshman week.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that literally just in those 3 years, they stripped so many things away just from y'all. And like now, like it's almost like when you go to Dave and Buster's and it's so corporate now. You're like, you just go to Dave and Buster's, you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is some sneak away shit. This is cool. Now you go in there, everything's trademarked. It looks like adult Chuck E. Cheese. It's the same shit now at Howard. It's the same shit.
Homecoming used to be 2 weeks long, and now it's like a day.
I remember going to I was still there when we had the step shows and R&B. I went to the R&B concert every year. That's when I touched Erykah Badu braids.
I
mean, that's real. I saw 7th Street and Rick Ross. I thought that was cool. I mean, I don't even.
Yes, I had to eventually.
She threw them shits away after she left the show. You know that, right? She threw them shits right in the trash as soon as she was outside. They are not her braids. Those are extensions, girl. That's all she wears is extensions.
She said she threw them away.
She threw them shits away.
Why?
Put them right in the trash. She gets new hair for every show. It's well documented.
Well, that's money.
I touched them once. Niggas be trying to kill your joy, and I'm still happy. This
they
man
do.
Still feels
they
them
do.
braids.
They do. But
they is you. What you mean they? You is they. They is you.
They is you.
She is part of they as well, and I was speaking for both of us, but that's fine. That's really fine. Anyway, y'all, we need to get into this show because we got a lot of foolishness to cover. Like, really more than the amount that we should cover. But like, y'all be doing some foolish shit. Like a lot of ridiculousness. Like I was looking at half the copy and I was like, how can people be this stupid? It's not even possible. It's just not. But we got the foremost expert in it. A scientist, really an observer of data and a collector, a producer, if you will.
I accept that all the day.
You know, she sees what she
put
sees
it on my resume.
Exactly. We love transferable skills. Talk about it.
Hello.
It's time for the bulletin board. Les, take it away, please.
Well, since you introed me so well, we'll just ride along that wave about people doing foolish things. And I just want to give y'all a blissful bubble of ignorance update, or what I like to call ignorance burst.
You and this alliteration. We're going to talk about you and this thesaurus
she
that you
thought
have
that
in your
was
pocket.
the coolest shit. It was cute, though. That was cute.
The blissful bubble of brilliant, bereaveful.
I didn't do all that. Burgers. Okay. Anyway, so on July 30th, which was this past Saturday, Neo's wife, Krista Renee Smith, posted a lengthy note to her Instagram saying 8 years. It was
lengthy as fuck.
It was lengthy. She just had to get stuff off her chest. So, you know.
She couldn't send a voice note, record a video like everybody else. Like, I had to read all of that.
She was waiting.
I read the whole thing
on that for 3 days. You know, she was
working,
wrote a little bit, stopped, came back, wrote a little bit more.
She added to it. So what she said was 8 years of lies and deception, 8 years of unknowingly sharing my life and husband with numerous women who sell their bodies to him unprotected, every last one of them. To say I'm heartbroken and disgusted is an understatement. To ask me to stay and accept it is absolutely insane. The mentality of a narcissist. I will no longer lie to the public or pretend that this is something it isn't. I choose me. I choose my happiness and health and my respect. I gained 3 beautiful children out of this, but nothing else but wasted years and heartache. I ask that you all please stop sending me videos or information of cheating, because what he does is no longer my concern. I'm not a victim.
She said, stop snitching.
I mean, she said she don't want to hear it at this point. She said, I'm choosing to stand tall with my head held high. If someone can't love you the way you deserve, then it's up to you to love yourself. With no hate in my heart, I wish him nothing but the best. Now, the kicker was Neo liked the post. Like, like the post.
I would have wanted to whoop his ass.
Oh, man, that was the smoothest thing of the day.
How petty are
I thought he
you?
let me down. But thank you, brother. Appreciate
He
did.
Don't
condone
this
that. This all comes like a week
toxic.
after he put out an album about how he was changing.
Yep. Exactly.
I can change.
Exactly.
I can change.
No, you can't. No, you can't. So let me tell you what Neo then posted. He said, for the sake of our children, my family, and I will work through our challenges behind closed doors. Personal matters are not meant to be addressed and dissected in the public forums. I simply ask that you please respect me and my family's privacy at this time. Now, mind you, all this comes like 3 to 4 months after they just renewed their vows and an elaborate ceremony after, they talked about divorce being on the table when the pandemic first hit, but they worked through everything. And here we are again.
So what was the point of that fucking see? I feel like she did this shit on purpose, because the thing is that why would you let him do that interview?
Why are we putting her on blast? Like, what? I don't understand.
I'm not putting her on blast. This is not an indictment on her in any way. Like, I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to feel what she felt and all of that. That's great. That's awesome.
All right, just get to your point.
Right.
It's just, to me, it's just like, why would you let him do that interview and then come out with this? Like, you just found out now, like yesterday is when you found out.
Let him do that.
Well, we don't know.
Stop him from doing that interview.
So you feel like he knew this was coming, and that was him getting out in front of it with better press.
I feel like something else. I think something else happened after that shit.
So something just now happened.
She said, "Stop sending me like videos and pictures. Stop snitching on this nigga because he not mine no more." Which means people was just sending her some shit.
Yes,
some shit.
That's what I think. That's what I think. I think prior to them renewing their vows, she knew he cheated X amount of times or whatever. Was what they worked through it. They got remarried. Now we are a few months after that, and who knows, maybe somebody could have sent her something prior to him releasing the album stuff. We don't know. But what she said was exactly what Sean just said. Stop sending me stuff as if it's currently happening, as if she just received something like over the weekend or a few days after that interview, which it was her breaking point. She's like, I just forgave this Negro. I was about to divorce him. He said he was changing. He did not change, and now it's the last straw.
Maybe he's fucking less people than he was fucking before. Maybe like it was 10 girls, now it's down to 1. Like, he's literally getting better.
You are so toxic.
Better.
That is the most toxic I ever heard in my motherfucking life. Are we one of those podcasts?
No, we're not.
Why can't you get better every day by 1%? By 1%. That's what they say. Consistency.
1%.
No, because the problem is meaning well and doing well. No, you can't keep saying, "Oh, I meant well. I meant to do this," but not actually do better. Like, no, you're not gonna keep playing her like Boo Boo the Fool. She's tired. This ain't sign up for that.
What if he did come up with her like, babe, it was only 3 women this time.
She got every right better.
We was arguing that one night, and that's when that happened. Trifling.
He said she saw me without my hat, and after then it was over. She saw me without my hat.
That would make her want to walk away if she seen me without the hat. Have you seen that hat?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I hope he get another little.
It's just too funny.
What you call them, little cranes in his head for every time he cheated on her.
Damn! Wow!
Were they craters? Little lumps
craters
on his head
and cranes. Wow, that was unnecessary. You know what, Neil? I'm sorry for you.
Maybe people wouldn't cheat though if they had like visible like scars or something for their infidelities.
But like, what if when you lie, your nose really got big like Pinocchio? Niggas wouldn't be lying.
Yeah, they would. They wouldn't care.
But you do realize that everybody's lies within like perpetuate. So that's literally for any lie. That's like, do you like me in this dress? Yeah, I like you in that dress. Well, there you go. So like that was foolish. Why are you doing that? It's gonna be over here touching Antarctica. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's crazy.
We just gonna Well, I was gonna say send up prayers, but I don't know.
I know we should send up some prayers. He needs to be prayed for. Clearly, something going on. He needs to be prayed for.
Neil has been open before about like feeling insecure, like as he was growing up and stuff like that. And I know like some people are able to work through those insecurities and overcome them, but a lot of people, a lot of things that they do are still rooted in those childhood younger insecurities that they never overcame. So whether he was insecure about like his looks or like if he wasn't like tall enough, whatever it is, like people act out of insecurity all the time if they don't like resolve those issues. So I feel like a lot of him is just like, I want to get as many girls as possible to like boost my ego, because back in the day maybe I didn't have that time or that chance or whatever. And even if
clearly
I
didn't have that time back in the day, I don't think we need to even.
Neil been famous for a while.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is before he got famous. Clearly,
he got famous, but he's been famous enough where he could have got that out of his system and been finished.
Maybe because he got famous a little later. He was in his 30s when he got bigger.
Was he? It was in his 20s. Stay came
out. I don't think he was that young. I don't think he was as young as we think he was.
He probably was like 27.
Let me see. What I'm saying is that he was closer to 30 at that point. Is what I'm saying. Okay. So I feel like, you know, that's
he's 42. And when did Stay come out? Like
it ain't been 20 years. It ain't been 20 years yet.
I'm pretty sure been 20 years.
It's been like 16. It's been like 16. Like 2006. It was 06. It was 06. Yeah, because it came out after 06? Chris Brown. Came out after Chris Brown. Yeah.
Okay.
It was 06.
Yeah. I do this. So, like I said,
it was 06. I had to verify. Like, okay,
but that's what I'm getting at. So, like, that's what it was a little
late 20s.
It was a little later. So he, you know, like that shit is rooted in there. That's, you know, and he had to go out there and do his
thing. Gotta watch out. You gotta look at other people's like previous relationship, especially if they're in a public eye. That's what I say. You need to look at like how people like treat their mom, treat their previous relationship, how they talk about people. Like, I just think that's so important when you're getting with certain people or getting with people period. You need to look at like the whole person, how they treat the other like women in their life, if they're, you know, if you're heterosexual, woman dating a man, that type of thing. But to me, he was a walking red flag before they even got together. But, you know, like you said, we'll pray for her. Hopefully they can work it out behind the scenes, because this can get very messy. Just like the first time they announced divorce was really messy. He came out with that whole song, like he turned her wedding ring into a pinky ring and all this stuff. It's like, come on, they don't have to be that petty.
Turned her wedding ring into a pinky ring.
He always been petty. That's why that liking the post wasn't even that surprising. Neo petty. Yeah.
Let's move on from Neo. What else is popping in these streets?
Well, Neo needs to take a page out of this man's book and apologize. So did y'all see that Will Smith apologized again over the weekend?
I did. Video? I was hyped when I saw the video come up. I was like, Uncle Will, he back. And then he did his little PR thing. It was cute.
It was cute. Let me read exactly what he said. So he was asked a question, why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? Will said, I was fogged out by that point. It was all fuzzy. I reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk. When he is, he'll reach out. So I'll say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you are ready to talk. And then he also said that this is probably irreparable. I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and complexities of what happened at that moment. And I will not unpack all that right now. I can say that there is no part of me that thinks that this was the right way to behave. There is no part of me that thinks that this is the optimal way to handle feeling disrespected or feeling insults. It's like I made a choice on my own from my own experience, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with this. Sorry, babe. Sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. And he also apologized to his fellow nominees. He apologized to Tony Rock, which is Chris' brother. He apologized to Chris' mom. And he ended with saying, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know that I did not live up to people's image and impression of me. The work I'm trying to do, I'm deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself. I'm human and I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. I would like to say to those people, I know it was confusing, shocking, but I promise you that I'm deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy in the world. And you know, if you hang on, we'll be able to be friends again. And you can see like the emotion behind his eyes and stuff like that. Like he really, you can tell he's really like taking the time to like kind of like retreat, think about things like he said, and is really apologetic and remorseful for it.
I've been forgave him. Man, we all have moments. It was a fucked up moment, but everybody had moments, and that's kind of like that was.
I moved on after that night. Moved on after that night.
It was a very sincere apology. It was it was due.
Honestly, it was the best Oscars I had seen in years. So I moved on that night. I was like, "Hey, it was great TV."
Came up. Damn, it was fun. It was bad, but like I feel what he's saying. Bad, like knowing that you did something wrong and then looking at yourself as like that just is a defining thing about you as a person and feeling like a piece of shit. Because I felt that way as well. Like I can definitely relate to that feeling, and it's like a really dark place to be in. You really don't want to feel like that, you know. Like everybody makes mistakes. It's okay. Just don't go around smacking everybody in every fucking award show. But also, we fucking praising these artists for these music that is telling people to be fucking violent. And then when somebody is violent, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, and the hyper song is Knucking You Buck in the fucking clip. Like, shut up. Don't act like y'all ain't seen no violence.
True. I think the thing is, like, he's done so many like great things, so many amazing things. Like this one little blemish should not overshadow how good of a person he is, because like you said, we all make mistakes, we all have our moments. He looks like he's taking the time to really think about it.
Like, okay,
right. All right, so I saw this story and I thought this was so crazy. Had y'all heard about the Spectrum $1 billion bill?
I did do some looking up. I did do some looking up on this. I was actually a little concerned about the participants in this situation, but continue on. Continue on, please.
Okay. Spectrum, like the internet or something?
Yeah.
Spectrum, the cable company.
Oh yeah, okay. I've seen it somewhere.
They've been ordered to pay over $7 billion in damages to the family of 83-year-old Texas grandmother Betty Thomas, who was brutally stabbed to death in her home by a Spectrum employee in 2019. So Roy James Holden, an installer for Spectrum, which is owned by Charter Communications, worked at Thomas's home in Irving, which is like near Dallas or whatever. Anyway, in December 2019, Holden returned the next day in uniform using the company's van while he was off, posing as if he was on the job, and killed her. Then he used her cards for a shopping spree after he murdered her. So in June 2022, a Dallas County jury found Charter Communications grossly negligent in Thomas's death. The jury awarded a verdict of $375 million in compensatory damages and said the company was responsible for paying 90% of it after the trial revealed systemic failures in the company's pre-employee screening, hiring, and supervision practices. And then last Tuesday, the verdict for punitive damages was announced and bringing the total to $7.37 billion that the company has to pay to her family. So,
wow. $7.37 billion.
So they about to file for bankruptcy or something.
So they're gonna appeal it first. So what they're saying is, let me just finish reading this part. So it says trial testimony in the case revealed that Spectrum hired Holden without verifying his employment, which would have revealed that he lied about his work history. The jury also found that after Thomas's family filed a lawsuit, attorneys for the communications company used a forged document to try to force the lawsuit into a closed-door arbitration where the results would have been secret and damage for the murder would have been limited to the amount of just what her final hospital bill was, final like bill period when it comes to hospital funerals and all that stuff like that. So basically they try to kind of like settle it off the side in order to get around this huge lawsuit that they knew they were facing. But yeah, so Holden was arrested for capital murder on December 13, 2019. And a spokesperson for Charter Communications said that they do plan to appeal on Tuesday. He argued that the employee was solely responsible for his own actions, that the company had nothing to do with it, and that the company argued the murder was not foreseeable and called the plaintiff's claims of wrongdoing categorically false. They said they're committed to the safety of all our customers and took the necessary steps, including a thorough pre-employment criminal background check, which showed no arrests, convictions, or other criminal behavior, nor did anything in Mr. Holden's performance after he was hired suggest he was capable of a crime he committed, including more than 1,000 completed service calls with 0 customer complaints. What do y'all think?
So he ain't never robbed nobody before, but he went in there and killed her and robbed her?
Apparently
he done over 1,000 homes?
1,000 completed service calls with 0 customer complaints.
First of all, how you go to 1,000 people homes and you got 0 complaints? 0.
The math ain't math.
People always find a reason to complain, even if they was like, you was late. Come on now.
That's but like one. Not to call in and complain though, Because the thing is that customer complaints mean that like I made a separate ass call to complain to you. Because like the person that calls you sometimes to check on it, you don't even pick up. You're like, I don't know that number. I ain't picking it up.
Yeah.
So like you
I ain't gonna hold you. I'll complain, but I won't take the time to actually like write a formal complaint or call in a formal complaint or something. Like I don't have time to do all that. So,
it depends. I had to make a formal complaint the other day. Man, when my car got towed, the towing company was on some bullshit. I had to go ahead and make a complaint. Then they started arguing with my mechanic. It was just too much. Like they left my car in an unsafe position and all that. Like what? Hell no. Yeah, so I had to make a complaint. But I usually would just like be mad or some shit. But
see, again, that was an extenuating circumstance.
He ain't never robbed anybody out of those 1,000 people, and he just went to full on murder and robbery.
Correct.
From what I read,
like a reach.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That just sounds as if like he was coerced into this. And then, okay, so I looked up these people, right? Now, maybe I'm doing a little bit of profiling, right? But the lady that was stabbed was an old old blonde, blue-eyed lady, right? Who was 83 or whatever, right? And this young black man. So you telling me this young black man who did all these 1,000 plus, right? Had no criminal background, never been arrested, went and then just stabbed this old lady just out of nowhere and then took her shit. So you're telling me that that's what occurred? I just did something's not adding up for me. Why would he need
to stab her? He could just push her on the ground.
That's what I'm saying. You could have just smacked. You could have just smacked her. Sometimes you could have tapped on top of the head, her bones would turn to dust. Like you could have done anything. Like, but that was.
Unless she saw him robbing her, and then he had to kill her to cover his tracks.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that he's okay. This is my thing, though. So you're telling me. That I don't know, man. So you're telling me he's robbed out because the thing is that okay, so then maybe he's done this before. So that was the first time he was gonna rob somebody. This 80.
That's what I said.
And just didn't get caught.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing is that there's always something. There's always something. You tell me in those 1,000 complaints, nobody noticed he robbed them. I don't buy that. You tell me he's done this for that many years. That doesn't make any sense. Something else is up here. And then the number is what's fucking with me. Because you're talking about one person. What family does she belong to?
7.37
that we're talking about that you need punitive damages up to $7.37 billion. Like, I don't think people realize just how much money $7.37 billion is. Like in terms of like the national debt, no, it's a drop in the bucket of $1 trillion. But like $7 billion, like with
$1 billion,
with $1 billion, you'd have enough money for like 50 lifetimes a lot of times. So then, let alone with 7. Yeah. So who is your family that they needed punitive damages of $7.7 billion? That to me sounds like this shit was organized because this is crazy. It's like, what's going on? Like, is she worth a bunch of money we don't know about? Like, you know what I'm saying? And like there's just other things here. Like, there's just this reeked of like murder mystery. I feel like we're gonna see this on True Crimes in like a month.
I do feel like this is gonna be a Netflix documentary. They're gonna do a deeper dive and really like bring out some of the things.
She had to be rich. Tristan trying to turn this into a murder mystery podcast.
You know, it's got to be the opposing side. He love doing that.
I mean, if we don't argue both sides, how can we ever find the truth? You know what I mean? You got to talk about both sides.
The truth ain't even among us.
I don't know if that was the other side because that was kind of ridiculous. But anyway.
It really wasn't. It really wasn't. But that's okay. Anyway, is that everything on the bulletin board now?
I have one more.
Oh Lord.
So,
oh Lord.
Have y'all seen this on Instagram? My last story is titled, and I didn't come up with this title. Shout out to Bossip, they come up with this title, but it's called Double Cheeked Up Achievement. Have y'all seen this?
No, but I do know that video on Instagram with that sound. He said, "Girl, what you doing here with all this ass? Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon." Have you not heard that sound on Instagram? What you doing out here with all this ass? Double cheeked up on a Thursday.
Anybody never even said that to me. I'm kind of offended.
I don't know why they would, but it's not important. What is important is that we're gonna learn about this story. Les, go ahead and tell us, please.
Shots fired. Pew pew. So Terica Williams has FAMU, Florida A&M University, trending for her provocative pictures celebrating her earning her master's degree in counselor education.
I haven't seen these. Let me go do some research.
Tap on the link that I have for you and it'll pull it up. So the new graduate went viral with booty-bearing photo shoot on campus of her alma mater with a message about acceptance and respectability politics. She posed in front of this.
Her booty look good too. Dude, that's a cute. That look good.
I'm weak. Oh, nude graduate. Oh wow, she went hard. Okay, wow.
So she posed in front of the statue, as you can see, of the rattlesnake mascot, and nothing but a gold red bottom heels and a cap full of flowing snakes. So she's like channeling Medusa. Because rattlers, FAMU, snakes, whole thing. Got it. Anyway, so she captioned the post. Anybody who knows me knows that I've been dressing provocatively my whole life. There are a lot of assumptions that have come with me accepting my body. A lot of people question my capabilities and intelligence solely based on how I chose to dress. As I'm standing here with my master's degree at the tender age of 24, I'm living proof that clothes do not define you. I encourage everybody to embrace their bodies and step outside of social norms. So the response from the university is that they are aware of the picture and they're currently investigating the incident. Now,
investigating it. What is there to investigate?
What the fuck does that mean?
So there's a lot of uproar. People say like, it's, some are like yeah, girl, you got it flaunted, your photo shoot, do what you want. Other people are like, this is disrespectful to the university because she's on their campus in front of the mascot posting
like university that she paid all that goddamn money
for? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
She had 3 different looks, but of course this one is the one that garnered the most attention. And now today I heard that they're talking about not giving her degree because of it. So
that's insane. That doesn't make any
whatever.
sense.
You did the work, it's fine.
What?
Good job, girl.
You ain't hold my goddamn degree. She didn't do anything inappropriate.
I mean, like, this could have been a dare and y'all would have just laughed about it and everybody would have moved on. But because she decided to stand on principle, they're upset. Like, what are you upset about? She clearly is one of your students. She did her work and decided to bear all, as you say, she gave you her all.
Well, that's all I have for you. I feel like that was enough.
That can't be it. There's got to be more.
That was it. We ended on a big booty note.
A big booty note. On that note,
I'm actually kind of here for that. Yes.
On that big booty
notes. Well, on that note, I'm gonna keep my ears to the street and report back next week. Hopefully, probably not about more big booties, but we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Whether or not I want to have kids. Like I watched my nephews for like can we 2
say
days
that?
And I'm like, I don't know.
Was it when you were like 27, 28, you said you wanted to have like kids, like I think you were 26 saying by 28 you wanted to be a mom. And like here you are at 30.
I don't remember her saying that. Did you?
We had conversation.
She seriously said that? Because we've talked about you having kids.
She wanted kids by like 28 and now at 30
I didn't believe it. I never believed that. I never believed when you said it. I never
I don't think I believed it either.
Not yet. I told you too soon.
No, so all I was gonna say is after watching my nephew and being around other kids for a little while, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. But if one did decide that they want to have kids, I definitely would want to have have a doula present. But how do I go about making that happen? Like,
but about like reaching out and getting a doula?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's so many different ways to connect with the doula. One, you have to kind of figure out what is the most important thing is what is the energy that I want in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah. Good looking energy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This guy.
That's the most important thing.
Clearly it is. Because clearly it's for me. It's not for her. Exactly.
It's about the mother of your child, not about you, Tristan. Or what you want.
No, actually it's about the family unit.
Talk about it.
You're right. You're right.
It's about the unit.
Yeah, and in a hospital, you can only have like 1 or 2 people with you.
It depends on the hospital. It depends on the time that we're living in, right?
Yeah.
The road yeah. So how to get a doula? So you can find a doula just by a Google search, like, hey, doulas in Charlotte, or you can go on Instagram and look up a pound Charlotte doula. I will pop up.
Come on.
She said, I will pop up.
I will pop up.
Is there like a database in which like doulas can register where people can go check that out?
There are databases that you can register. So there is blackdoulas.org. It's ran by the National Black Doula Association. So you can go there.
Love it.
You can reach out to the community. You can find it at your doctor's office. Some doulas may have their pamphlets at the doctor's office. Or maybe at your prenatal massage, right? They may have partnership. I have partnership with like a pelvic floor therapist. So I'll talk about her, she'll talk about me, these kind of conversations, you can find out about doulas there. You can just be in the community. Let's say you need a community-based doula, somebody who's not only going to support you with your birth, but also like, how are you getting food? Do you have shelter? Are you in a domestic abuse scenario, right? those are some other things that doulas can support you with. So you really need to determine what is your need, and then you can start branching out that way. So someone who's more spiritual based may come to someone like myself, who's a holistic doula, who's grounded in spirituality and nature. And so you just want to identify what is it that you want in your space. For me, number one thing is safety, safety, safety. Do you feel safe? So if someone doesn't feel safe with the doula, that's not the doula for you, boo-boo, you know? Yeah. And I think why that's so important is because the hormone that is necessary for labor to progress is oxytocin, right? That's the love hormone. So if we don't have that oxytocin, if that is blocked because we are now going into fight or flight or freeze mode because we don't feel safe, labor stops.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right? Labor stops. Labor halts, no longer progresses, because just like if an animal is in the wild and they're in the woods somewhere and they hear a noise in the background,
they'll stop. Yeah.
That animal stops laboring immediately because now they need to figure out, how am I going to keep me and my cub safe? A lot of people forget that we are animals. Our body physiologically knows when we feel safe, when we don't feel safe. And so we are going to protect ourselves and our child at all costs, not with our mind. Physiologically, these things happen. It's very important that you feel energetically aligned to whatever doula that you're working with, and that the doula feels energetically aligned to you, right? There are tons of people who are like, oh my God, I need you to be my doula. They may not be energetically aligned to me. Okay.
I need you to say that one more time. Say that one more time. I need you people to hear that.
Yes, you have to be energetically aligned to the doula that you are working with. It is interview on both sides. And I think a lot of times, especially for newer doulas, they may just take on any and everyone. But you need to find out what's your niche, like what feels good to you, what makes your soul smile, and just continue to niche out in that way, so you're not just taking on any and everyone, because that doesn't feel good and it's not going to allow you to last long term. I'm here for like the long haul, not just like, I'm gonna have all these birds back to earth.
Right.
I like the song. I'm here for it. We always breaking out in the song. Can your insurance cover the cost of a doula?
Yeah, so insurance can cover the cost of some doulas.
Okay.
Some doulas may take insurance. Some doulas may take HSA.
The savings.
Health savings.
Yeah.
Some companies, right? Some companies are getting a lot more hip that their staff want doulas. And so some companies are paying for the doulas. That sounds like a good thing, could be a bad thing, right? Because now you're not necessarily getting a doula who may be energetically aligned to you.
Right? So because they're only going to pay for some doulas. I got you.
Yeah.
Conveyor belt.
And what are the odds that they will be Black? Probably not as many.
Well, so is it a situation where they give you like a credit that you put toward getting a doula and then you can pay the difference? Or it's like, this is a pool of doulas that we have and you pick from here?
Yeah. It's going to typically be in partnership with a larger doula organization that says, hey, here are the doulas that we have. For example, National Black Doula Association, they have partnership with Walmart, I believe. And so the staff at Walmart would be picking from those pool of doulas. So I think that there are definitely pros and cons to that. For me, I'm a very customized, it's like a luxury like experience. And so mine is very, very different in my approach, in my desire to cultivate like the most optimal experience for that person. So I'm not here like just, running doula clients out back to back to back. That's not how I roll. It's like, how can I create and cultivate a beautiful environment that they desire, that's customized to their needs, versus like, I'm just gonna rub your back real quick.
You good? Like what?
I see that. because there's so much burnout. Doula work is not easy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, doula work is not easy. You have to be really careful about the person that you are bringing within your environment and what you need. Some people like don't need a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Some people are just like, listen, I just want you here to, you know, read me a book or whatever. And so you just need to determine for yourself, where are you within that spectrum? For me, I may be too far for someone on the holistic side. I may be just perfect for someone who is like holistic and Western medicine as well. Or I could not be like it at all for someone, which is okay. You just need to find out where, what makes you and your family feel safest and most honored.
Is there like a max number of clients you'll take at one time because you like to customize it, don't want to get burnt out and want to make sure you align with them?
Yeah, it depends for doulas. So some take on 4, 5, 6 clients. Me never do that. Never. Never. No.
I want to say I mean, that's a lot of pregnant women to hang out with. That's a lot of pregnant women to hang out
Bye,
with.
Tristan.
That's a lot. I'm just saying, because
they're with this all the time, girl. All the time.
They're entitled to feel any way they want to feel, and they may feel grizzly that day. You got 6 grizzly people. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Grizzly.
That's a lot of people to deal with. A lot of emotions to manage. That's crazy. 6 people at once. I can't even imagine.
Well, it won't even be 4 to 6 people at once. Remember, that's in 1 month, but you're dealing with people for.
Come on, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's a long time.
So that means that it's like 6 different people for July, August, September, October. So you're dealing with all.
Oh, yeah, like 24 people or something like that. You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
For me, I think bless everyone who does that, right? There's some really dope, phenomenal doulas. There's another doula who went to Howard. I think she's incredible. She lives in Atlanta. Her name is Imani. Love her. She be taking it on like that. Bless her. Okay, but those experiences allowed her to, now she's building a collective, right? And she's like really doing her thing. So I think it is appropriate for some people, and I think it's appropriate for probably a certain amount of time. Just the way I couldn't do it. Yeah. So for me, I take on clients when I feel energetically aligned to them.
Got it.
So what's the most number of clients you've taken on at one time?
Oh, I don't know. I could have like 4 or 5 people at a time, but they won't be the same month.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So do you stay in contact with your clients after the birth? Like check in on the babies and all that?
Each moment. Yes.
I love it.
My clients, listen, to me, birth is a spiritual experience. These are souls coming into this world, right? And so it means something that you are seeing people in their most vulnerable states. You're seeing them in their happiest of states, their saddest of states. You don't just walk away from that. And so I keep in contact with, I used to say all, but now I would say like a majority, because like as you things change. And you just take on different clients. But yeah, I think it's really, really important to me to keep in contact with the clients. I think last Monday I had a client and he just turned 1. So I went out to Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I was at his like first birthday shoot, and it's just precious, and just to watch them grow up. Most of the babies or the parents will call me Auntie Des. So it's really a beautiful experience and exchange. And I don't have kids yet, so it's really beautiful to have so many little ones that just a part of my journey. I'm a part of their journey. So yeah, I definitely like to keep in contact. And like there are clients who I had like years ago and would just call me. I love that. You know, I had a client, she was 4 months postpartum, called me like bawling, crying because she was having a experience, right? So I always tell my clients, like, I am there for you. Postpartum is actually where the majority of the maternal mortality rates are. I think it's during birth. It's actually during postpartum, right? And so people have to know that they are not alone. This is like, I'm here. So yeah, I think it's really important to stay in touch with your clients. Now, if people try you, you got to leave them. So
I just have a follow-up question. What are some of those causes of that postpartum mortality rate? Because I was thinking it was all during childbirth.
That's
or like immediately after. Yeah.
So it could be hemorrhaging, right? Which bleeding out. It could be preeclampsia, right? Where you have elevated blood pressure. So that is really not good, right? Your eyes could potentially get blurry. You have edema in your extremities, meaning your hands and your legs, feet. Your blood pressure rises, which could lead to seizures, right? And death, right? Potentially, it could be malpractice. Malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America.
Oof. Wow.
We're not even talking about maternal. I'm talking about
in general.
Medical error and malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America. Okay. So that happens. Actually, a doula, just on Saturday, a doula I was speaking to told me how one of her clients, the anesthesiologist, gave her too much epidural. Okay, too much. Girl went white immediately.
Wait, what?
The next day, so luckily the doula was there, caught it, and started speaking with the nurses, right? The next day, another woman got too much of the epidural, died. Okay, the next day, same anesthesiologist, right? These are real.
Did they fire the anesthesiologist? Like,
yeah, she got fired. She got fired.
That's why she needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like this one time. This is people's lives.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are real stories. A lot of times we hear like 3 or 4 times, 12 times in New York, real stories, real families that are massively affected, right? And it's not only just those families, but like the community shifts when these kind of things happen. Trauma is so like, I never say this word right, palpable, thank you.
You got all of us.
Yeah, it's really real. So those are just some of the ways. And so that's why the education is important, because if you know that preeclampsia is something that, if you even know that that is a thing, right, then you can look at the symptoms. If you're like, oh, you know, my hands are a little swollen, oh, my eyesight is a little blurry, oh, I feel a little bit off, oh, I have a raised blood pressure. These are things not to ignore. Please do not ignore that, right? Have these conversations, speak to someone. As Black women, we're always just like, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
We perpetuate that all the time.
Yeah.
We can't do that, because we have to not only save ourselves, but we need to save our familial unit. You passing affects the husband or the partner, it affects the children, the grandparents, aunts, uncles. So we need to start speaking up about when things do not feel right. Yeah, and speaking our truths, like we need to know what is too much blood to lose. If you are going through pad, you know, a full pad within an hour,
it's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. Yeah. Okay. So we need to know kind of these things so we can know when something is not right.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't get all that knowledge in the hospital.
No,
not at
absolutely
all.
not.
No, I was there right after my sister had a baby, and I ain't hearing about any of this information. They didn't say like, okay, when you're going home, this is like how to take care of yourself and things like that. It's a very rushed process.
Yeah. You feel good. And that I mean, I'm telling you, this is stuff that affects generations, because if my mom didn't hear it, how's she gonna know to tell me?
Right.
How am I gonna know my kids?
Right.
Perpetuate that. So I live under a practice of each one teach one. If I teach you something, and that's for y'all too, if I teach you something, I want at least 3 people from your community to know what I taught you, right? Because that is how we continue that knowledge. You didn't know, right, Sean, that about the VBAC, right?
I can't wait to tell somebody that. Just
I mean, you can have a vaginal birth after cesarean. Tell 3 people. Release 3 people from that unknowing. And so that is really, really important to me.
Yeah, I really like that phrase. Release them from that unknowing. Like it's caught you and it's clutching.
Release I just made that up on the fly. But
you gotta make some merch with that on, Des. Come on.
You got the quotables happening.
This might be because I was watching CB, so in my mind something was in its clutches, but I get it though. I really do. I like it. I like it a lot.
So if you could work with anybody, who would your dream client be? It doesn't have to be anybody that actually has kids at the moment or anything.
Right. I think my dream client isn't necessarily a person, but rather a character of a person, someone who understands that birth is a communal spiritual experience, someone who wants to look to nature first and foremost, someone who understands that I am here to help in welcoming the love that I have to share with them. So that is definitely.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I get that with a lot of clients. A lot of my clients get it.
I have a quick question, a side question. So in order to do doula work, do you have to be licensed in the state that you live in, or do you have to have some kind of special credential to work in that state? I'm asking because if for any reason I do ever change my mind and actually want kids, I need you to be in Texas with me. So I'm just trying to see if we can make this work and how does this work?
Yeah, first of all, when did this no children thing happen? I don't remember that.
Girl, because I'm scared because being pregnant and then pushing out a whole human does not look like an enjoyable experience. And I'm just terrified because all I've heard is horrible things. And then I take care of my 5 nieces and nephews and they wear me out each and every time. So I'm just am I cut out for this life? Because you don't get breaks as a mom. As a TT, I can send them right back. But it's as a mom, it's I
mean, you get breaks, they're just further in between. You send them to TT's house.
I won't touch that right now, but no, everybody does not need to have a child. If they have please, people, don't come for me, Lord. That's everybody real. Needs to have a child. If you don't want a child, that's everybody's right to have a child.
Exactly.
That being said, there are no licensures right now that require state or nationally to perform doula services. So I do travel birth as well. That's how I ended up in Charlotte. I did a birth in North Carolina, and I just found North Carolina to be wonderful. Yeah, so I can travel anywhere. Really, I want to be traveling globally and supporting birth as well, because I'm really interested in what does birth look like when it's not so heavily medicalized? So in America, very heavily medicalized, but I think in a lot of other countries, we have opportunities for physiological birth, where that is seen as hippy dippy here to want a physiological birth. It's what? So I'm really interested in that. Desire Doulas, as the organization, we support we support birthing centers, home and hospitals. Désirée Sprauve, as an individual, is only supporting birthing centers and home births going forward.
Gotcha.
So keep that in mind, because other than my brother and his girlfriend, may not go to the hospital no more, unless there's a hospital transfer or something.
Right. Gotcha.
Of course. Yeah, but that's where I am with it right now. But Desire Doulas and as a collective, absolutely still hospital births as well.
Is there a reason? Is it just because you don't align with the hospital and how they do things, and you rather, I guess, the freedom of a home birth or a medical center?
Yeah, there's so much to be said on that. And I would say that there can be trauma in any birth center, birth setting. Right? So you can have trauma in hospitals, you can have trauma at home, you can have trauma in a birthing center, you could have trauma if you have your baby in the ocean, right? Trauma can happen anywhere in any place. However, the prevalence of the trauma that we see within the hospital, it is so magnanimous. It is so ginormous. It is so tangible within a hospital space that I'm not necessarily interested in being a proponent of that anymore. It felt like I was just working with the man, you know. It felt like I was just like, how can I be a good girl within the system in order to make sure that my client is well. And I don't wish to do that. I wish to see people be empowered. You can be empowered in a hospital birth too. Don't come for me, people. I'm just saying, I wish to have different experiences and experiences that I know is very tangible, very possible for people to have. You know, there's this kind of saying that I always say is like, stop going to McDonald's wondering why they don't have lobster, right?
Well,
why do we keep doing that?
Yeah.
It logically makes no sense to me. We know what's up. At this point, we know what's up.
Ain't no McLobster.
Not in this country, at least.
I was about to say, I feel like in another country.
In another country, I'm pretty sure it's there, but not in this country, at least.
Right.
It seems to me that you enjoy being a doula. That's just the vibe I'm getting. That's just the vibe I'm getting, that you enjoy your work. But is there anything that with the process of becoming a doula, or just maybe the way doulas are treated, or maybe the access you have, or just anything that you'd want to change, you know, to be better for doulas, you know, coming after you?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities for growth in regards to becoming a doula, being respected as a doula, learning the tools on how to be a successful doula, right? There's a lot of holes that can be planted with something that can grow into something beautiful. So for example, a lot of doulas may take a training and then they're like, now what? You know, I would say like high 80%, you know, of doulas come out of the trainings like, you know, now,
yeah.
You know, it wasn't even until I got an accountability partner that I started like really kind of like hitting the ground running with being a doula, having a business, you know, all of those kind of intricacies. So I think that there's great opportunities for that. And so some doulas have been creating mentorship programs. I have like a mentorship program that I'll probably be launching soon.
Nice.
To just help guide people on things that I had no idea how to do. Like how do I get nurses on my side? How do I have an LLC? How do I unwind after a traumatic birth, right? Those are all the things that a lot of people kind of need that support. So that is one thing that I think is an opportunity. And also, depending on where you live, hospitals may not fancy doulas, right?
I was wondering about that, exactly.
I was very lucky, or blessed rather, because in New York, doulas are a lot more respected, I would say, than some of the stories that I hear from my friends, maybe in the Midwest or in the South, right? And go ahead.
Well, no. I'd not to interrupt you, but do you think it's more ignorance that the reason that they like kind of reject the doulas, or do you think it's just like they're set in their own ways and they're like, this is how I feel like a childbirth should happen?
Yeah, I think it's multi-layered. I think it has to do with there is a power, you know,
struggle.
So you think it's a power struggle? Okay.
It's a power struggle because sometimes if a person has been, you know, delivering births for years and the mom or the birthing person is just listening to the doula, that's going to do something to your ego, right? In medical school is very ego-based, right? They're constantly filling you up with like, you are the truth, Yeah. And so now you have someone coming in who is sharing potentially different information to the birthing person or to the mother. That is going to do something, right? With that ego, and there is going to be a struggle, particularly if a doula does not know how to navigate the room, right? So a lot of times some doulas may come in, especially earlier in their careers, like guns blazing, like, I don't think that that's the most effective. There are doulas who are really like more so proponents of that. I am not that doula, right? I am scoping the scene, I'm seeing the dynamics in the room, and then I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to navigate this scenario, right? My background is supply chain, so I'm looking at what are all of the different obstacles within this scenario and what is the best sustainable solution that I can come to, right, for this particular scenario. And that is how I kind of like maneuver. So I don't really have, oh no, I would be tripping. I was about to say I don't really have like crazy stories with doctors, but I do. But yeah, I think if we can come a little bit together more so that we can really align in that we just want this person to be well, right? I do not believe that doctors are just like, I'm trying to like be a terrible person. I'm trying to make sure everybody gets a cesarean. I'm trying to harm this person. That is typically not the case. Of course, we have outliers, but that is typically not the case. It's just how they were trained, what they're used to, that may be a huge portion of it. But realistically, I think that they want the mother or birthing person to be well.
Yeah.
So if we can all kind of like continue to have these kind of conversations to say, hey, how can we make sure nurse, doctor, anesthesiologist, doula, partner, birthing person or mother, how can we make sure that all of us are in alignment? And when we are in alignment, how can we converse about what we think can be, the next step, but always referring back to the mother or the birthing person to say, what do you intuitively feel? What do you want to do for your body? Because they are really the source of truth, because they know what's happening within themselves.
Trying to get that many people to do anything is like trying to get the planets to align.
I think that we need to have an alignment that we want this person to be well. The person who has the loudest voice in the room always needs to be the mother or the birthing person.
Okay.
Always needs to be the mother or the birthing person. My role is to support whatever they are saying, and also to make sure that this doctor, this nurse, this anesthesiologist are understanding of what this person is saying and what they're trying to convey. There's no way we can get all of us like in alignment all the time, but we need to be able to have conversations to say, hey, how are we going to make this happen? What is best for this person? And typically they know what's best for themselves.
I feel that. As a follow-up, I was talking with a young lady that was she wanted to become a doula, but she said, I want to go to nursing school first before I make the transition to being a doula. Do you find a lot of doulas doing that? They're like, I want to get some type of medical formal training before I want to become a doula?
It's typically the opposite, actually. Typically, someone will become a doula. It's both. I think some nurses will just get tired of like being a nurse, and then they're like, let me become a doula, right? Because they already have like bedside manners, but it just depends on what's your why. If you're doing it just to make money, terrible reason to become a doula, a horrible reason to become a doula. And there are a lot of nurses who do that, right? I think what's amazing about a nurse becoming a doula is that they have so many skills already. They already know what to look for a sign of infection. They already know what to look for if the doctor is not, saying the right thing, or if the doctor is saying something that is totally not true. So there's like profound, wonderful, amazing things that can come from someone being a nurse first and then going into doula work. Just chronologically, it doesn't always work out that way. Where, you know, it's typically like, hey, I want to figure out how to be a doula, and then you have that groundwork. You get the bedside manners. You have an understanding of how do I care for a person. You know, not just like room 3. How do I care for a person? And I think that is really important in a nursing journey, in a doctor journey, in, you know, any kind of journey. So I've seen it in both ways, but typically I see it from nurse to doula. Either they had like a traumatic experience themselves that made them say, oh no, I need to help other people within this experience, or they were called to it for some reason, or they're just tired. You know, nurses have a very hard role. I just love nurses, and I think that they need to get a lot more respect, but it's a very tiring job. I think that they need to be exalted significantly more, but that is a reason why they would transition from a nurse to a doula. Typically, everybody's story is different. So yeah.
Got you. So I know that you call yourself a holistic doula, and you say that you've like always been a part of like the holistic lifestyle. Like, when did that come to be? And then when did you realize that I need to combine the two things?
Yeah, I would say I grew up, my background is Caribbean. So my mom's side of the family is from the Virgin Islands. My dad's side of the family is from Jamaica.
Oh, the Caribbean. That's all the Caribbean. All of it.
I wore it for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wore this gray shirt for you too, girl.
I got green.
Clearly, everybody got their attire on. Nobody sent me this text. Like, dang, y'all.
I mean, y'all did this shit last week to me. Y'all both had on Howard shirts, and I show up looking like an asshole. I'm over here like, well, okay, that's cool. That's fine. I don't put my Howard shirt on.
We got to work on our coordination next week. We got to work on that.
Coordinate. You have to coordinate. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Before we go, what movie is that from?
That was Pops. Pops said that. Damn,
Yeah,
I can't think of the name of the movie down right now.
Boomerang.
Good
Boomerang.
job. All right.
Okay.
Someone was talking about it last week, and they had no idea what movie it was from. I was like, "Are you serious? Come on, man! Boomerang." They were like, "What is Boomerang? You mean the thing on Cartoon Network?"
No.
They didn't know. They didn't know. They had no idea.
No,
Boomerang's a classic.
I don't even know what they was talking about.
But you were saying, ma'am, I'm sorry, we interrupted. Holistic lifestyle.
Oh, yes. So my background is Caribbean, right? So as we know, most Caribbean people who are not like overly colonized, right, are nature first. That's just how we were raised. My grandma, she would take off a piece of her aloe plant and like rub it all over her face at night. Like, I didn't really take like medicines. It was like a tea or, you know, some sort of holistic kind of remedy that I was taking. That's just what I was exposed to. I was always exposed to like homeopathy and like spiritual tools. And, you know, my grandma was a Buddhist. My mom was a Buddhist for a moment. Like, that's just how I was raised. And so when I got to college, everyone thought I was kind of weird. So I was like, and let me go back in like shell and just be normal. And
I guess I'm gonna say I don't think I ever knew that you lived holistically. Though I mean, I'm sure you've mentioned some of those things, but I never thought anything about it until now you're saying this. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. In college it wasn't prevalent at all. Like, just was not a thing for me. And then after college, at some point, that's what happened. I got really big after college. So I had gained like, I don't know, I was 158 pounds, right? I'm only 5'4". And
is that a lot?
For me, in my body, that is a lot.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just thinking.
Now for me, no, but there's
a different body type.
That's real.
Yeah. So I had just gained a lot of weight, and I was like, okay, I need to come back to home, to center, to equilibrium. And so I just started like continuing research. I would reach out, to my cousin who's really into holistic wellness and things of that nature. And so I just started going on that journey of like, I am done with the medicines. And I think at that time, my menstrual cramps were so bad, like crying on the floor, talking to God. Like, it was so bad. There were definitely times where I was just like, what's the point of all of this if I'm going to be cramping in this way every single month? It's dumb. Like, what's kind of the point of, to be honest, like living if I'm just going to be like,
pain is, you got to expect pain 12 times a year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to start, focusing in. So I just started doing so much research on how can I like heal myself in different holistic ways. And like bit by bit, I started changing the food that I was eating. I started like reading different books on spirituality, on trying to change your mind, on wellness. I started like watching YouTubes, and I just really started going down this journey that allowed me to truly like begin to heal myself. And it's been since 2015 I started that journey, and I had like a big breakup. It was like a very transitional time in my life where I really needed to figure out what does it mean to me to be healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, all of it, to like just shed it all and rebuild it back up. That is what I did, and that's what I do now. And because I had such a profound story, we can't even get into the story for real today, but like there were so many things that occurred in my life that made me say, I gotta change this all and be able to help other people throughout that journey. So that's what I do. Like I had to heal myself from relationships. I had to heal myself from like a very sad, angry womb, right? I had to lose the weight, and the weight had nothing to do with the weight itself. It was what I was carrying emotionally. It had nothing to do with the weight, because to everybody else
thicker than a Snicker. Come on.
Oh, she's fat.
I mean, I was definitely about to be like, you sounded juicy, but I didn't want to say anything.
Thank you very much.
No one said you weren't. No one said you weren't.
Slim thick. Yeah, she's slim thick though. She still got it. She still got it.
I'm still a 20-ounce Gatorade. Talk about it.
Yes. So
you're so silly.
Yeah, I just had to learn all of these different skills and tools, and I'm able to bring that not only to my birth doula clients, but conscious conception clients. Like they're trying to figure out how to create and cultivate a beautiful environment for a baby to be conceived in, right? So it's the same kind of tools in postpartum, right? Helping people through that transition, but also with holistic wellness. A lot of people are experiencing really sad, angry wombs, right? That's what the cramps are here to talk to us, to tell us that something is not right. We have to listen, right? Our bodies are always talking to us. And so I think it's really important that we kind of go inward to figure out what are we trying to hear? What are we trying to understand? And that's why it's kind of a blessing that I've experienced so much stuff in my life, because it allows me to help and guide other people within their own sacred journeys. And so, yeah, it sucks to have experienced so much at like by 32, but also it's like, yeah, I get to be a guide, a sacred like person in another person's life, because I done seen it all. I done seen it all. Okay, so I can imagine like very little things that I can't like just cannot grasp the idea of how to help a person.
I feel it. So you were mentioning earlier that you had some crazy doula stories, or maybe a hilarious doula story or two. Would you mind sharing a story or two with us and our listeners today?
Yeah, I think crazy is an interesting word. I think maybe interesting experiences.
Sure. Something unique stands out to you.
Unique, I would say.
Anecdotal, perhaps.
Yeah. I'll use those words because obviously I'm dealing with like pretty serious stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I had one client, she gave birth in a car. I had my first birth ever as a like trained doula. The midwife did not make it in time because of traffic. And I ended up delivering the baby adding the baby into this world. Obviously the mom delivered the baby. But that was my first birth ever, right?
Wow. I mean, that's just like a crash course. We in this thing, right?
Was it as magical as they say it is?
Yeah, it was really, really nice. She did it in maybe like one and a half pushes.
Wow.
Oh wow.
The baby came like right into my arms, and and I like jumped in the tub with her. It was
wow.
It was a home birth, just for a point of clarity. And it was just really beautiful. And I was also her doula for her second baby, and just like it was just really, really beautiful. Wow. Really, really fast. She is someone who has precipitous labors, which means very, very quick labors.
Oh, she's lucky.
That's what I want.
And is she doing this without anesthesia either?
Yeah, this at home. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. See, if I could have it like that, then I probably wouldn't be as scared, but I'm like terrified.
But you never know. You would never know that until
I know.
Would never know. And then also, I'm telling you, Leslie, the preparation really kills a lot of the fears, right? Okay. Like, and then also you learn breathing techniques, you learn comfort measures, you learn what is actually happening with your body. Mm-hmm. Fear really is bred in the unknowing. That really is what is happening. True.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that aspect because I was just thinking, I feel like I would pass out. You're
gonna wake back up, or you gonna wake back up.
I'm gonna wake up, but I feel like
I've definitely seen people faint, and they really like, you lose a lot of blood sometimes. So, but also I want to say that our words are very powerful. If we keep falling into the space of like, I'm gonna faint. I don't know if I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna be this outlier. What's gonna be our truth?
That's real. Well, put it like that.
Still skirmish.
Right.
A quick follow-up to that last question. So at what point do you, because you said you were doula for the second child as well, at what point do they introduce you into like the pregnancy process? So like, as soon as they find out, okay, we're pregnant, we need you to come back? Or is it like month 6, like the second trimester? Like when are you showing up?
Yeah, it depends. Every doula is so different, right? And so I have clients, somebody texted me today. They just found out they were pregnant yesterday, right? So
okay.
Yes.
Girl, I just peed on the stick and it's positive.
You peed on 2 of them, girl. It's legit. We need you. It's legit.
I already told the family yet, but they done already called you.
Ain't gone to the doctor for
a lot of times I am the first person to know about somebody. Maybe like either the first person or right after the partner. A lot of times people just, obviously I create safe space for people. That's what I do. So people always tell me like, it's about that time. Wait a minute.
It's about
Lizzo. I'm definitely calling you first, Des. I'll be like, girl, it happened. What do I do now? Help me.
So you keep using the word collective. I mean, I love that word because we are a collective here. So like in like the next 5 years, do you see your business growing and then you having other doulas under you as well? And then like you're sending them out and then like they're going to be, representing the desired doulas?
Yeah, that's what it is growing to be at this moment, right? So that is why I called it Desired Doulas from the very beginning. The vision was always for me to grow into a collective of doulas that I can teach, that I can learn from, that I can like help guide them like within their journey so that they are not as lost as like I was. That's no like shade to anyone or any organization. That's just like the nature of how it was back then. And so that is what I'm going and cultivating. So I've contracted out doulas in Texas, in New York when I wasn't living in New York. Yeah, and I think that is like what it's like coming out to be, and that's what I am doing in Charlotte. So that is where I'm going. I'm looking for like holistic doulas who understand what birth can be, how we can show up for people in really powerful and dynamic ways. And just women and doulas who are interested in cultivating like the most optimal kind of experiences for people, you know, and I want to do it well, and I want to do it luxuriously, and I want people to like leave me feeling like shea butter just like rubbed all over them.
Are you gonna send like desired doula boxes, like those Ivy Park boxes? Like when as soon as you get pregnant, they're like your desired doula boxes here. Like you're gonna have all your gear. You're gonna brand it. Like it just seems like it's growing. It's becoming monumental. I mean, I love it. I honestly.
Yeah, and you know, it's a hard journey, right? You have a lot of times where you're doubting yourself, where you're just like, am I enough? You know, so many people for years have been asking me to be a mentor, and I'm just like, what? Me? Like, I didn't myself in these kind of ways at all. It's just like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. And you deal with a lot of challenges, especially personally, kind of like in your mind, those kind of like murmurs. So for me to even say out loud that, hey, this is the trajectory that my organization is going on, is profound.
Manifest that shit. Manifest it. Say it again. Say it louder. Make sure everybody heard that shit. Say it.
Desire Doulas is a collective.
Yes. Love to hear it.
It's getting international. She's gonna be out there.
That's what it is.
In Africa.
100% going to be a globally recognized brand. Like I absolutely know that, and I want to continue to bring education to everyone who needs to know how their body works, how to empower themselves, how to advocate for themselves, to know about their womb, to know about the experiences with their partner, you know, how to cultivate a family dynamic, you know. That's really what it's about for me. I just want people to be well, and I want it to be intergenerational, right? This is a lot of times when we think of wealth, we just think of money. Intergenerational wealth is your mom having a beautiful experience that she can pass down. Intergenerational wealth has to do with clean, healthy wombs, right? That babies are born in, right? That's not to shame anyone who does not have that kind of womb in this particular moment, right? It's just like, how can we continue to give our children these skills, these tools, these stories, these environments, so that we can be well. And that's what I want for my people. I'm talking Black people, brown people, people who are not with the colonization, right? Because you can not be white and still be with colonization. Okay. That's what I want. That's why when I say each one teach one, I mean it. That's what we mean about community. When I'm talking about like education, entertainment, empowerment, I mean it. When I'm talking about intergenerational wealth beyond financial, I mean that stuff. So that's what I want for Desire Doulas. Desire Doulas is absolutely going to be that. And like the more that I like stand firm in like who I am and what I bring to this world, the more I'll be able to expand in those ways. So that's
Amen. I love it.
I heard you mention empowerment quite a few times throughout this interview, and I love to hear it. So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, what were your thoughts on, you know, the Roe versus Wade decision?
There's so much to say about the Roe versus Wade decision. I think everyone's first charge was a rightfully so emotional based, right, kind of experience. I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm enraged, I'm angry. We experience that. And then we release that because we know we have our own power. Before there was this America, before there was these systems telling us what to do with our bodies, we knew intuitively what to do with plants in order to release pregnancies, right? And so we didn't need a system to tell us how to do so. And so the reason why people are so in shambles, rightfully so, right, is because that knowledge was taken from us. Your grandma didn't teach you what herbs. Your mom didn't teach you what herbs. You didn't have a cousin, a healer, or anybody in the community to teach you these things. So you have to hold on to the system with all your might. And that's exactly what they want, right? Disempowerment, because then you are required to put all of your all within their power. So I think it's really important to really empower ourselves. That's the approach I took with the Roe versus Wade kind of ruling. It's like, okay, that's trash. I mean, it's so trash. But now what? How am I empowering my people? Exactly. So actually, immediately after that, I created a adult sex education class, because I need people to understand what's happening with their body. You cannot get pregnant every day of your cycle, right? Not everybody knows that. Most people probably don't know that, right? What's going on anatomically? What is going on? A pregnancy actually does not even happen the moment the sperm touches the egg, right? That's called implantation. Once the fertilized egg attaches to the uterus, the uterine lining, that is a pregnancy, which can happen several days after you actually have sex with the person, right? Things that we need to know, so that we know when to have a cause for alarm. We know when we need to take a particular herb. We know when it's like, all right, we need to use protection during this time, although you should be using protection all the time if you're not in a monogamous relationship, but that's up to you. These are just things that we have to do. So that's how I roll. If I see a problem, I'm like, okay, now we need to have these knowings, these understandings. And that is empowerment. Boom.
Drop the motherfucking mic. I love it. I love it.
They sang that Tyler Perry movie where she was like, boom.
Boom. Angela.
Oh, well, we did have a few hot buttons for you, but this is getting a little long. So I know we don't want to keep you forever, because we've been blessed to have you so far, man. You've given some gems, like some real gems here today.
Oh,
you know,
it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
No, man, you really have. It's been quite a pleasure to have you here today. And I hope our listeners really appreciate the knowledge that you've imparted, and hopefully they will do the same. Like they've learned, and now they'll go tell 3 people, you know? Exactly.
There you go.
So is there anything else you want to tell our listeners before we get out of here?
I would say follow me on Instagram. Okay. I have Désirée Doulas. So that is DESIRED. DOULAS. That is for my Désirée Doulas. And if you want to learn more about holistic wellness, then follow me on Désirée.Sprauve. That is DESIREE.SPRAUVE. So find me there and let's connect. I love communing with people.
Well, again, everybody, that's Désirée Sprauve, head of Desire Doulas, the #1 doula in America. Okay, by popular demand. By popular demand, about to be the #1 doula in the motherfucking world. Okay.
Okay.
It's a mission. It's a takeover. But thank you again. We love you so much. You're welcome back anytime. Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The fun part of the show. Sean already popping and locking over there, so you know what's about to go down. Oh wow. Oh, I didn't expect that. Okay.
I didn't expect that either. Oh shit. It just came out
for me. Okay. Well, you know what? It's no better time than it's time for reset. Sean, take it away. Pop on it. Pop on.
So the only thing that the people been talking about in these music streets is Beyonce's album.
You know
Beyonce.
I gotta say something.
Go ahead.
I understand this is your time and I don't want to take it away, but I gotta say,
as you take it away,
I'm be honest with you, this is too important. I'm gonna look right in the camera and say, Beyonce, that's the best fucking album you put out in quite some time. I don't know who you've been working with. I don't know who you've been talking to, but you need to keep talking to them and keep doing that, because that shit is fire. Every song on that, I've listened to it back to front at least 4 times. Girl,
damn,
you've been doing the fucking thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Please continue on.
So I mean, on that note, Leslie, might as well go ahead. Let us know what y'all think. Go ahead.
Unpopular opinion, I don't like it.
Nigga, what?
I said 10 toes down. I don't like it.
So to piggyback off Leslie, I have not even listened to the album yet. I did hear snippets from people on Instagram, and because I already didn't really like the Break My Soul. Like it's cool, but it's kind of annoying. Like Break My Soul. Like it's kind of annoying. That little drop it like a thotty church girl, like what?
She sounds like she's trying to be 20 years old, like a city girl type.
They let Beyonce do anything. They let Beyonce do anything. If that was like Sierra or somebody, they'd be like, oh hell no, that's so corny. They let Beyonce do anything. But I'm gonna give the album a chance. I am gonna listen to it, but you really kind of got to be in a mood, like to really listen to music. You know, when you're really trying to critique it. So I was like, I gotta be in a little mood to hear this Beyonce album. But
to your point, Shauna, they did say that when Sierra just came out with her Jump record, they were like, oh, dope video, but no, the song sounds elementary, it sounds childish. You know what I'm saying? And they giving B a pass. I feel like with Beyonce, she's in her 40s. Like, I want to hear, it doesn't have to be like you're trying to be like super like profound and grown and stuff like that, but like, girl, you are above these type of lyrics. They're very elementary to me. And I feel like she's catering to like the house, the club scene, which is fine. They can have that, you know, it's just not for me personally. But I feel like the production, I get they were samples and it's the Renaissance area. I get what she was doing, but to me, it was just a little all over the place. The lyrics are elementary. And I just felt like, girl, what are you doing here? But now if I hear it out and about, like in Vegas somewhere or a club somewhere, it's like, it is what it is. I'm not going to hate and tell them to change it, but I'm just not going to be bumping it. It's just not my cup of tea.
I can't even believe how far y'all are off from what is really at stake here. That CD is a musical movement. It is aptly named, aptly titled. I can't wait for the fucking visuals. Like they gave me just a little bit of disco in there. They came hard with the house. Like everything was right. Like I could dance to that all night long. You could fuck to it. You could skate to it.
All I hear is that you like the beats.
To it. It wasn't about just the beats. It was now musically it is constructed very well. Like I like how it moves from one track into the next. But like
that's smooth the transitions,
but then also like it was just fun because the thing is that a song's got to be somewhere between like simple and profound. And the thing is that those songs had levels to them. They did, not all of them. Clearly, not all of them had levels, but there were a couple up there that really did. She's making a statement there
like a thotty. We don't even say thotty no more.
Because she's old. There you go. Old speech. There you go. Boom. Age.
If anybody else said that, they would have been talking shit.
But you know what? It sounded dope. If it didn't sound dope, I wouldn't be like, well, you know. I just feel like y'all give so much other shit a pass and y'all won't let this ride. I don't understand.
I don't give that much.
What do we give a pass?
The City Girls. That's already a Cardi B.
You yourself love good love, so don't.
That's like one song. One song by the City Girls. I'm not hating on them. I'm fucking with it. I'm here for it. I'm not tearing them down. I'm telling you, that's the best song the City Girls will ever make. That's for sure the best song they'll ever make. I don't think they're gonna do it ever better. But like that Beyonce CD was dope, yo.
I actually like Break My Soul. I like the lyrics. I like the sample. I like everything. But I just feel like has she said on that trajectory, like cool. But I just feel like it was just.
But she did though. But she did.
Nah, it was all over the place.
Cuff It. You don't fuck with Cuff It. You don't fuck with Plastic Sofa. Oh my!
I don't know them songs, so I got to give it a listen.
But you should because they're fantastic.
I'm good.
I honestly, I may do an in-depth review. The viewers check it. Wait up for it. It's going to be an in-depth review on Beyonce's Renaissance because you know I was moved. I'm
waiting for the other 3 parts because it's supposed to be 4 parts. I'm just waiting to see.
So that's the party part. Enjoy the party part.
Which I said I'm gonna let the girls have it. They can go party and do their thing.
The girls,
they can have it. I'm here for it. I support y'all if y'all like
that's
it.
That's because you ain't been skating enough yet. Go skating some more. Put it on. You're gonna change.
Oh God, I hope they don't play it in the skating.
Yeah, they are. They'll play every record. I'm gonna tell you the other day, I literally put it on and literally just let it play on repeat. It played 3 or 4 times and it was fucking magical. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I haven't said that about a Beyonce album ever. Not even.
And that's why your opinion is invalid because she's
what I look at every album objectively. Every album I go through, if it's dope, I'm gonna tell you it's dope. I know.
Did you say you didn't listen to her other projects? Ain't that what you just said?
No, I didn't say that. I've listened to them. Of course I have. I just may not have enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed this one. How do I tell you?
Anywho.
Well, that's how we feeling about the Beyonce album. It ain't really no other music to even talk about.
And y'all don't even really want to talk about it because y'all over here talking about I
have nothing.
It's just that album is dope. It's dope. You ain't played it and danced yet. Did you even dance when you heard it? Did you even get up and dance, Les? Did you even try?
No, because I listened to it right when it dropped, and I'm like, I'm going to sleep now. And then they were playing it the next day when we were in Atlanta getting dressed, and we all were like, we trying, but this ain't our cup of tea. None of us liked it.
Do y'all just not fuck with house music? Is that what this is?
No, it's not even an attack on, because I can get down with house. I just wasn't.
Not an attack. It just might not. You just might not fuck with house.
Is house my go-to? No, R&B has always been my go-to over everything. Over hip hop, over pop, over country, over everything. I've always banged R&B first, so that's always my go-to. But I mean, I can get down with house. This just wasn't it. Like I said, I love Break My Soul. I resonate with the lyrics. I love the sample she used. I love everything about Break My Soul, and that's how I thought the rest of the album was going to be, which she circled around that, but it's just like I said, a lot of it where the lyrics are so elementary to me, and I'm just like, girl, what are you even saying? And then just the production was kind of all over the place. Like,
I feel like those lyrics are deeper than you realize. You just didn't give it credit because you.
Damn, Tristan said you didn't really deep.
I feel like you didn't go through it. I feel like you got to go through it.
Actually, you didn't really listen to the words because you're not that deep.
And I'm normal. Okay, I didn't say all of that. I don't know
surface
how.
level.
That's what you were getting.
Wow, surface
level.
Shallow, tadpole looking big.
Oh,
like,
man.
damn, Tristan. Okay.
I don't remember.
From this
you just learned how to swim in the deep end. You still in the shallow end, boo.
Did anybody say that?
That's why you can't.
Why are you tearing yourself down right now? Why are you tearing yourself down? That's all this is right now. These insecurities are coming out. What was all this about? Let's build each other.
I just talked to my therapist earlier. She says I have to work on breaking down the lies. You're right. Sorry.
Oh,
true story. Shout out to my therapist.
Shout out to your therapist, man.
I know we're not supposed to be.
True story. Kevin Hart got another show on Netflix. Oh, did you see that? Oh,
did you watch it? Man from Toronto.
I loved Man from Toronto.
It was great.
Funny.
It was really good.
Funny. Like,
it was honestly, good.
I'm always here for these Kevin Hart films. And
yeah,
I need Woody Harrelson and him to do another movie together. Maybe like two or three. Maybe
they
2
were
or 3.
Good combo.
That was good as hell. I thought that was really funny. At first, I thought it was gonna be kind of corny, which it was, but it was funny.
Because Kevin just being himself.
Yeah.
Kevin is legit himself in these movies, and he's just so silly, so funny. But no, it was a really good storyline. So I was like, I like this. This is cute. I watched it on the plane.
No, it got better. It got better and better as I was watching it. I was like,
it kept going. I was like, okay, this is gonna be the last one. But then it was something else that happened. I'm like, God, they can't catch a break.
I'm here for this movie. This is decent.
Yeah, it was good. Speaking of Kevin Hart, though, I watched his interview with Jay-Z. No, I watched the one on the Pivot.
Oh, okay. That's
I got one on the Pivot, and I watched the one on Heart to Heart with Jay-Z.
That was a good one too. Yeah.
I enjoyed both of them. I would definitely recommend if people got a time to listen to those because they're really good.
I'm gonna catch up because he had Tracy Ellis on there. He had the Chris Rock on there. He's been doing a lot of.
Yeah, I only listened to the one with Jay-Z, and that shit was really good.
No, he's had a bunch of. I mean, Don Cheadle's the funniest one.
Oh yeah,
he was asking about his age. And Don was like, "Man, he said I'm 58 years old. Damn."
I'm sorry.
He said, "I know how you said it. It wasn't me how I said it. I just said damn." That's not how you said it. That's not how you said it.
That's not how you said it. He's funny as hell.
Let me ask a quick question though before we move on. So on the Pivot, there's the clip that keeps going around where Channing Crowder is going ridiculous. To a nudist colony, right? I heard that. Would y'all go to a nudist colony for any amount of time? And like, what would that amount of time be?
I would.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
I don't need to spend like days there. Maybe like
I've been to like a new beach before. So.
But who are y'all going with though? Are you going with your significant other, or are y'all going with like your girlfriends? Like it's naked weekend.
Significant other. With my significant other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Would you go?
But it's not something that you got to do all the time. Like him and his wife like doing it a lot.
They go annually. Like, clearly, they go annually. It's a.
If that brings some spice to them, okay.
He's also the same guy that says he acts like a cat during sex and his wife like walks him and stuff. They do some weird kinky stuff. I
mean, I'm here for the kink.
He puts it out there on the podcast.
After so long. I mean, they've been married 14 years. You gotta keep some spice in there.
Mind you, he's the same. Bam. Mind you, he's the same one that called Russell corny and said that Tia's on with him for his money and she really wants Future. Like he said a lot of ridiculous stuff on that podcast.
I mean, he
take it with a grain of salt.
Not be incorrect. I don't know. They're ongoing.
We're not about to. Okay, here go your toxicity popping out.
All right. So next on the docket, have y'all heard about that new show Faithful caught in
Girl, I watched
that
the episode. It is so good, girl. This
I have to go ahead and catch it. First of all, the concept is just like it's cheaters 2022
2.0. Yep. It's absolutely, like, I watched every episode. It's hilarious. Last night's episode, one of the girls, she was like she said something. She said, "What we gonna do, Miss Tammy?" Like, just the people's commentary and how they be talking to Tammy. How Tammy be keeping it straight with them. She like, "This is what we gonna do." She's like, "I will take my shoes off and chase you down the street if you try to run away. We gonna get these answers." Like, Tammy is like a no nonsense, like, we gonna figure this out type of person. But I'm pretty sure a lot of it is staged, but it's entertaining. I'm enjoying it. It's funny.
I'm always here for staged funny reality TV. Like,
right.
That should be funny to
reality.
Me.
Yeah.
And Cheaters is like, I used to love waking up on Saturday morning and watch Cheaters. Like, that shit is so funny to me. So definitely can't wait to watch this show.
Please get into it. As Tam would say, get into
I
it.
don't know that I've ever seen an episode of Cheaters.
Really?
Because I'm really thinking about it now. As you said it, like, I was like, what is that? And I was like trying to think about how it looked and everything. I'm like, I can't remember one episode. I'll look it up on YouTube.
All about you.
I really can't. I remember Eliminate, Fifth Wheel. I don't remember that one at all. I don't know why.
You remember Cheaters? It was probably like on and you didn't realize what it was, or like on in the background type of stuff.
It could have been. I'm having trouble even visualizing it. I'm like, it don't even sound familiar.
Just look it up and you'll be like, oh yeah, I probably glanced at this once before. So
is that everything for today, Mel?
But we're gonna talk about some fun things to do. Yeah. Our girl Leslie was
y'all can do it in 90 seconds and then we gotta say goodbye.
Yes, it's real quick. Y'all wasting time.
All right, go, nigga, go.
Anyway, so like I said, over the weekend I was in Atlanta and we did a couple fun things. One, the Georgia Aquarium. I haven't been to aquarium since I was a kid, but that was actually really fascinating. I got some great pictures and videos. We went to the dolphin show, which they were great. And also I went to the Trap Music Museum, the one that like T.I. and 2 Chainz did or whatever. So got a lot of great footage from there. They have a lot of things where you can, like, take pictures like doing stuff with it, interacting. The people who were like our tour guides and hosting were hilarious. Like, these guys are just stupid funny for no reason. So it was really cute, really cool to see. So anybody who's in the Atlanta area, I would say go to the aquarium. It's like, I think it's the largest one in the US, or at least it's the largest one in the country. A lot to do. And then also Trap Music Museum was pretty dope. So just want to shout those two things out.
All right.
Thank you, Leslie, for those fun things to do. Interesting. Want to close us out?
We can do that. I can't believe it. We've actually come to the end. But before we get out of here, y'all, please make sure you go check us out on the YouTubes, on the Ticks of the Talks. It's almost tough to say. On Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Please like, subscribe, engage, join the conversation. But until the next time, guys, y'all, I've been Trist.
It's your girl Les.
Shauna Don.
And even though the party may change, the vibe remains the same. We out, y'all.
Bye.